Welcome to the next lesson of my C++ programming course. Today we will create our first application. It will only show a blank window, like the one you can now see. It doesn't look like much, but we have to start somewhere. We will be adding more things quickly in the later lessons, and as you will see, our possibilities will grow quickly. If you have seen the first video of the course, you know that I intend to teach the basics of C++ by making simple graphical applications, and I also explained why. However, it is relatively difficult to do, because C++ doesn't have native support for graphics. There are many C++ libraries that allow to do this, but the problem is that you need quite decent C++ knowledge in order to use them. For that reason, I made a little helper library that I will use in the course. I call it cppgraphics, and I will now show you how to use it to make our first application. Before you continue, make sure you have installed the build tools as described in the previous video. If you haven't, you will not be able to follow this tutorial. I will show you the process on Windows, but it is the same on the other two platforms. We will start by launching Visual Studio Code. This is the first time I am running it after installation, so it offers to select a color theme. You can really choose anything you like. Now we need to install some extensions that we will need. Select View from the top menu, then Extensions. Now search for C++ Extension Pack by Microsoft and install it. This will take some time. When it is done, you can close Visual Studio Code again. Next, you must download the cppgraphics library source code. Go to the respective website, there is a link in the description, open the latest release, check the text and download the source code. Then unzip the file into where you want to work. The absolute path should not contain any spaces or special language-specific characters. Stick to Latin letters, numbers, dashes and underscores. Then go to the subfolder called Projects. You will find directories with template projects. Select the one matching your platform, create a copy of it in the same location, and rename it to how you want to name your project. Now you can run Visual Studio Code. Select Open Folder from the File menu and select the directory you just created. You have to confirm that you trust files in the folder, because code will run some scripts from there. After you confirm it, Visual Studio Code will look for compilers installed in your system, and it will ask you to select the one you want to use. The available architectures may differ from the ones you see here. Select the one matching your computer. Some log messages should start appearing at the bottom. The script is now downloading the SDL2 library source code so it can build it. You must be connected to the internet and expect it to take some time. The library will be built inside the cppgraphics directory. It will not be installed into your system. Wait until the process finishes and the messages stop appearing. If all went well, the end of the log should look like this. Now you can select the Explorer icon from the left menu and open the file called main.cpp. That is the source code of your application. The only thing left is to push this button to build and run the application. If you did everything correctly, a black window should appear. The hard work has been done now. Let me now mention several things related to Visual Studio Code setup. First, there are several tabs in the bottom panel. When you build your application, the Output tab shows the verbatim output of the compiler, and the Problems tab shows possible errors parsed from the output in easy-to-read form. I like to show these tabs side by side, so I will merge them right now. Next, notice the buttons at the bottom. You will use them to build your application. It is helpful to remember the keyboard shortcuts for these options. F7 to build, Ctrl F5 to debug, Shift F5 to build and run. You can also set the build type using the drop-down further to the left. Note that when you run the application from inside Visual Studio Code, the console input and output is piped into the built-in terminal down here. It is especially useful when your window starts misbehaving because of some bug in your code. In that case, you can simply focus the terminal and press Ctrl C. This will immediately kill your process and the window. In case you want to run the application without Visual Studio Code, you can simply run the executable which is created inside the build subdirectory in your projects folder. On Windows, a console window will appear automatically next to your window when you do that. On Linux and Mac OS, this does not happen, so if you needed the console for something, you must first open a terminal window and run your application from there. If you run into issues, let me know using the GitHub issue tracker which is linked in the description so I can fix it. So that's it for today. In the next video, we will go through the source code and start actually learning C++. Thanks for watching.